Before Akanbi could retreat, Mama Shalewa sensed his presence. "Who is there?" she hissed, her voice sharp like broken glass. Akanbi stumbled backward, but it was too late. Her piercing eyes met his, and in that instant, she knew he had seen everything. "You've broken the rule, Akanbi," she whispered, advancing toward him. Her voice was unnaturally calm, but her face was twisted with fury. "No one who sees this secret leaves here alive." Terrified, Akanbi pleaded for his life. "I didn't mean to see anything. I swear I won't tell anyone. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more captivating African folktales, thank you." It was a quiet, moonless night in Matoro village. Somewhere in the heart of the village, Mama Shalewa's popular restaurant was lit up like a shrine, its windows glowing with the flicker of oil lamps. The aroma of her famous pepper soup filled the air, drawing in late-night customers like moths to a flame. But inside her kitchen, something unholy was taking place. Mama Shalewa was the most loved food vendor in Matoro. Her pepper soup and jollof was legendary, and people came from neighboring villages to eat at her restaurant. Nobody could explain why her food tasted so divine. Some said it was her skill, others believed it was the spices she used. But nobody knew the truth, except Mama Shalewa herself. Years ago, after her husband's sudden death, she had struggled to make ends meet. Desperate to provide for her daughter, Shalewa, she had sought the help of Baba Ogundil, a feared native doctor known for his dark powers. He had given her a charm and a secret recipe, one that required a specific incantations to activate its power. With this, Baba Ogundil had said, handing her the charm, "Your food will draw people like bees to honey. But remember, you must follow the rules, you must tell your workers to never enter the kitchen after the doors are locked for the night. If anyone discovers your secret, your life will be in danger." Mama Shalewa had hesitated, but her desperation had outweighed her fear. Now, years later, her restaurant was thriving, and she was the envy of every food vendor in Matoro. One evening, as Akanbi leaned against the wall, staring with wide eyes, Akanbi was one of the trusted kitchen staff at Mama Shalewa's famous restaurant. He was a cheerful, hard-working young man who joined the restaurant to support his struggling family. Akanbi was loyal and followed the rules of the kitchen without question, even though some of them made him uneasy. One fateful evening, Akanbi forgot one of the strict rules Mama Shalewa had enforced. Never enter the kitchen after the doors are locked for the night. Driven by curiosity, he returned to retrieve a forgotten tool, only to stumble upon something that changed his life forever. As he pushed the creaking kitchen door open, Akanbi saw Mama Shalewa chanting strange words over a bubbling pot filled with dark, thick liquid. The room was heavy with the stench of decay, and Akanbi froze as he watched her pour a jar of water into the food preparation pot. He later realized it was the water used to wash dead bodies. Shadows swirled unnaturally around her as she laughed eerily, speaking to unseen forces. Before Akanbi could retreat, Mama Shalewa sensed his presence. "Who is there?" she hissed, her voice sharp like broken glass. Akanbi stumbled backward, but it was too late. Her piercing eyes met his, and in that instant, she knew he had seen everything. "You've broken the rule, Akanbi," she whispered, advancing toward him. Her voice was unnaturally calm, but her face was twisted with fury. "No one who sees this secret leaves here alive." Terrified, Akanbi pleaded for his life. "I didn't mean to see anything. I swear I won't tell anyone." But Mama Shalewa was unmoved. She called on the dark forces she served, and before Akanbi could run, his body froze in place as if an invisible hand gripped him. His mind screamed, but his lips could not move. Mama Shalewa placed her hand on his head and muttered incantations, her voice rising in intensity. "You will not die, Akanbi. No, that would be too easy. Instead, you will serve me in silence for the rest of your days, and you will remember nothing." With a final chant, Mama Shalewa cast a spell that erased Akanbi's memory of the horrifying scene he had witnessed. From that day on, Akanbi became one of her most obedient workers, oblivious to the evil in her kitchen. He worked tirelessly, praising Mama Shalewa for her kindness, unaware that he had once seen the darkness behind her success. However, the spell had a flaw. On rare occasions, fragments of that night would flash in Akanbi's dreams. He would wake up sweaty, his heart racing, but the memories always slipped away like smoke. Deep down, something felt wrong, but he couldn't put it into words. Months later, everything was perfect until Simisola came to work for her. Simisola was a 19-year-old girl from a poor family. She was hardworking and respectful, but she was also curious, a dangerous trait in Mama Shalewa's kitchen. One day, Simisola accidentally forgotten her scarf and returned to find Mama Shalewa standing over a pot, chanting. Simisola froze, watching as Mama Shalewa poured the dark liquid into the soup. Her heart raced as she realized what was happening. "What is that?" Simisola blurted out before she could stop herself. Mama Shalewa spun around, her face contorted with anger. "Simisola, you shouldn't be here." "I saw what you did," Simisola said, her voice shaking. "What kind of water is that? What are you chanting?" Mama Shalewa's eyes darkened, her lips curling into a sinister smile. "You talk too much, Simisola," she hissed, stepping closer. Simisola's heart pounded as Mama Shalewa dipped her fingers into the strange water and flung a few droplets at her, muttering an incantation under her breath. A chilling wind swept through the room, and Simisola felt an invisible force tightening around her throat. She gasped, stumbling backward. Her vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus. "No weapon formed against me shall prosper," she whispered desperately, her voice barely audible. Mama Shalewa's eyes widened in shock as the incantation failed. The eerie wind died down, and the grip on Simisola vanished. "You," Mama Shalewa started, but before she could finish, Simisola turned and bolted, racing out of the dimly lit room and into the night. Her feet pounded against the ground as Mama Shalewa's screams echoed behind her. She didn't stop running until she was far away. Her chest heavier. Whatever Mama Shalewa had been doing, it was evil. And, Simisola knew she had to find someone who could stop her before it was too late. That night, she lay awake, replaying the scene in her mind. She thought about the customers who ate Mama Shalewa's food daily, unaware of the dark rituals behind its preparation. She knew she had to do something, but fear gripped her. The next day, Simisola confided in her friend, Teo, a young man known for his bravery and quick thinking. Explaining everything to him, together, they decided to expose Mama Shalewa. During the busy lunch hour, Simisola and Teo entered the restaurant with a group of villagers. "Everyone, stop eating!" Simisola shouted, her voice cutting through the chatter. The room fell silent as all eyes turned to her. "What is the meaning of this?" Mama Shalewa demanded, her voice sharp. Simisola pointed a trembling finger at her. "She's been using dead body water to cook her food. She's been performing dark rituals to bring customers to her restaurant." Gasps filled the room, and customers began to stand, their faces a mix of shock and disgust. "That's a lie!" Mama Shalewa shouted, but her voice wavered. "Check her kitchen," Teo said. "You'll find the charm and the clay pot she uses." The villagers stormed into the kitchen, led by Teo. They found the clay pot hidden behind a shelf, along with strange items that confirmed Simisola's claims. When they returned, Mama Shalewa was gone. She ran into the bush, someone shouted, pointing to the back door. The villagers searched the bush for hours, but Mama Shalewa was nowhere to be found. Some said she had used her dark powers to disappear. Others believed the spirits she had invoked had taken her. Simisola became a hero in Matoro, but the incident left the village shaken. The restaurant was abandoned, and people spoke of Mama Shalewa's betrayal in hushed tones. The story of Mama Shalewa became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers of greed, and the price of dishonesty. Simisola, though hailed as brave, often wondered if Mama Shalewa was still out there, hiding in the shadows, waiting for her chance to return. Moral lesson: evil deeds may bring temporary success, but they will always be exposed. True success comes from hard work, honesty, and faith in God. The end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more captivating African folktales filled with inspiration.